My wife and I dated for 6 months and then bought a house together. We're gonna talk about the highs and the lows of that entire situation, how it happened, and where we ended up at the end of it. Was it crazy? Of course it was crazy. But we made it work, we figured it out, and this is how we did it. First thing we're gonna talk about is how we met. So, we met
on Tinder.
On Tinder. We were both in different spots in our lives. Probably shouldn't have been on Tinder, but
Probably
I'm happy
not.
I met you.
But you didn't create your own profile.
No.
And you were not the person I was talking to at first.
Nope.
One of your buddies did.
Wasn't into that thing. I really wasn't into it. I was just focused at the time, and
Apparently, I was under the impression that he really liked Corona. So I went and bought a 6-pack of Corona before you came over to my house. And then you got to my house and
I don't like Corona.
you don't like Corona.
And I didn't make my profile.
So that's how we started off.
It was more of a pity party at work because I was just on my own and the guys were teasing me. And so one of the buddies I worked with was like, I'm going to make you a Tinder profile. You reached out and swiped right. Yeah, so I showed up. My phone died. You didn't think I was coming over.
Yeah, I thought you were going to stand me up because you went out with a couple of your buddies and had a couple beers, and then your phone died. And I guess you had texted me from one of your friends' phones that you were going to get dropped off.
I had to get an Uber because I'm
man.
responsible.
And so, here I'm thinking, this is going to be a total disaster of a night. Who is this guy? He has no plans.
I've got class.
No class at all.
I was worn out at that time in my life, though. I mean, I had been working and taking care of my 2 kids at a time. You know, I was on my own with my 2 kids, and you were on your own.
With one.
So Ashley had a son. I had 2 sons.
They were, 1, 2, and 3 years old at the time.
We hit it off.
And we just hung out.
We spent hours talking, and then the next day we met up again and took the kids to a park, and it really started taking off from there rather quickly. But there was a secret in the beginning. That secret was that I knew that I was going to be leaving because I was in the military and I was waiting on my orders to drop. And I was going to be gone. So that's why I didn't want to date in the first place, is because I was going to be leaving and I thought it would be impossible to meet somebody.
And I had just moved into my apartment.
You just
I moved in. 1 month into my apartment, I had it all set up and everything was nice. And then
along comes this wrecking ball.
Here you are oh, I'm leaving. And I don't know how long. It was 4 months later or something? Not even.
So the first aspect of it is, when did you realize you really liked me? Like you wanted to keep seeing me?
Oh, night 1.
Night 1?
Oh, yeah. We got along so well.
We spent a lot of time talking.
The kids really enjoyed hanging out with each other too. They all loved to play together, and it was nice.
I know immediately you stepped in because I had my kids in daycare.
Well, I was home during the day and able to watch all of the kids, and so yeah, I remember I watched all the boys and they all played, and we went to the parks and just kind of hung out, and then we hung out in the evenings.
I decided to go out and take a risk and pull the kids out of daycare, and I was nervous because it's I've only been dating this girl for 2-3 months at this time.
No, not even. We had only been dating for maybe a couple of weeks, and you took him out of daycare.
But I was so broke, and the daycare was so expensive.
It's expensive.
You were using your GI Bill to go to school, so you were able to be home, and you offered to, you're like, just take him out of the daycare. And I was like, I remember when you told me that, I went home and I was like, this is crazy, because if I take him out of daycare and then you decide, oh, I don't like you anymore.
You can't get him back in daycare.
I couldn't. The waiting list took 3-4 months just to get him in there. And so that was the biggest first risk that was taken.
Yeah, you had to put a lot of faith in the situation and me. And
the first surprise came in October that I was going to get shipped down to Texas
Right, for your training.
for training. But the curveball was they were shipping me down to training, but they didn't have a base selected for me yet.
So you didn't know where you were going afterwards. And so it was kind of like, for me, it was, do I want to stick around and not know where we're going to go next? Or, you know, hopefully we get somewhere that's...
But there wasn't even a where we're going. Like, we were still kind of dating and
Yeah.
we were kind of just ignoring it for a while.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. It was kind of like something, the elephant in the room that we just didn't talk about.
Yeah, we were having so much fun together, going around, just exploring. We were in South Carolina. I explored so many places once we started talking.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reality started to set in is, hey, I'm going down to Texas for a month for training. With no base selected, I could have went anywhere.
Anywhere, overseas.
Japan,
Yeah.
Germany. And I think that was my biggest fear is if you were serious, I started thinking, like, do you even have a passport? Do you...
How would, like, all of the logistics behind it, there was a lot. We didn't talk about any of those things.
No, we ignored it. We had Hurricane Matthew roll along, and Ashley didn't have any way to leave town. And since I was military, they were going to pay for me to evacuate, and everything was going to be paid for through the military. I just took you with me.
We just all went.
And so...
The dogs and everything.
2-3 months into dating, and we're going to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. When we drove all the way to Atlanta, we took the kids to the zoo. It was almost like we were already a married couple.
It was crazy, yeah.
We spent almost a week in a hotel. We were just stuck there
Yeah.
and waiting for the hurricane to roll through. And we really bonded during that time.
I think so, yeah.
You know, we drove all the way to Ohio when my grandmother passed
Yeah.
away.
That was really quick, too.
Yeah, so much was happening so fast in those first couple months.
We spent a lot of time in the car.
And it was why we had so much conversation.
Yeah, it was just hours and hours of just talking.
Because South Carolina to Ohio was like 15 hours, 14
We did
hours.
it overnight, too, so we were both awake.
And then driving back. I think a lot of people don't start their relationships off that way. So that's why it might sound weird that in 6 months we bought a house together. To go to what happened in November is I went to Texas. In the second to last week I was in training, going after Thanksgiving, they said, "You're going to Patrick."
Yep.
And I said, "Where's that?"
But I knew where it was because when I was in the military, I actually put in for it and I wanted it. And you called me, and I remember you called me and you told me where we were going, and I was so excited.
You were excited. So maybe is that when you realized you wanted to go with me?
I really don't remember. I don't think there was ever a time where I wasn't going to go with you. Like, if you would have asked me, I would have went with you because I was enjoying our time together, you know, and
It was like a fairy tale almost.
it really was. It was crazy how everything just fell into place.
And so we get the orders to Patrick.
We're not engaged or anything. We were literally just boyfriend, girlfriend dating.
I make a decision of, hey, I'm going to buy a house down there, I guess. I looked at houses online from Texas.
And I drove all the way down to Florida for you in one day. Yep.
And
And
yeah,
looked at some houses for you, and I took videos and sent them to you and pictures and helped you pick out the house because I wasn't on the house with you. It
couldn't
was
be.
just
We weren't
you.
married.
Right. And at this point, like, we hadn't even talked about getting married or anything. We were just dating. It wasn't even, I was just going to go live with you, you know.
yeah.
It's wild.
I got the house purchased. You helped me with the majority of the paperwork.
Wait.
And then
While you were gone in tech school, I remember too, I had to get out of my lease. I was able to get out of my lease, and I moved all of my stuff from my apartment to your apartment once we kind of decided that we were going to move together. And so while you were in tech school, I remember sending you pictures of like, oh, look at what I did here and here and here.
she completely womanified my apartment.
I made it beautiful.
900 square feet.
Yeah, it was tiny.
It was so tiny.
And they just,
But we had to get your stuff into my apartment because the movers for
Yeah.
the military they're only going to move what's in my place.
right.
So we had to get everything of yours into mine, and then the movers come and pack up all your stuff with this guy you've only been with for 6 months. And take it to Florida.
So when we were getting ready to move, once Kyle came back and we had to go down and look at the house really quick just to make sure, you know, you wanted to buy it and you liked it. And we went and stopped at the gas station. And as I was going in, I sliced my foot wide open on this piece of metal that was hanging off of the door. And well, at the time I was taking birth control, and then the doctor prescribed me antibiotics. And so we had an unexpected event happen that we are going to talk about in our next episode, right before we moved down to Florida.
We get down to the house in Florida. And it was an old house.
Yeah, but it was nice.
Yeah.
A huge lot. We had a half acre.
Half acre, 1,600 square feet.
Yeah.
The kids were small, so we were able to figure that out pretty quick. But we really started off rough in that house because I think as soon as we started living together, we had quite a few disagreements. That's where the bologna sandwich thing happened, if you've seen on one of our other videos. But we definitely had some growing pains right there because
Yeah. There was a lot of work that needed done on the house too. And then to have just, you know, met and moved in, and now we're being thrown into home repairs,
responsibilities, all right?
bills, like, it was crazy. We had a pit bull at the time. He was like a little pit bull mix, and he was our animal hunter. He would hunt all of the wild animals around the property, and we noticed that he was sniffing the walls, and he was trailing the walls and whimpering, and so that's when we realized that we had a rat problem.
We had a major rat problem.
Major rat problem. And there was a hole under the vanity in the bathroom sink where you had like replaced a pipe or something like that.
No, there was a hole behind the mirror, and it was the shape of a fist. You could see the fingers in the wall where somebody had gotten angry. You could totally tell it was a punch.
Well, we had the vanity closed at the time, and I remember Brewski, our dog, he was like whimpering outside of the vanity and wanted to get into it, and you opened it up.
And out came the rat.
And out comes this rat, and it turned into like a bloodbath in the bathroom.
He annihilated. And we had just stripped the paint down. We were redoing the bathroom.
Yeah.
We decided to jump into home repairs and renovations right off the bat. So it's like, hey, we're dating. We've only been together 6 months. Let's go ahead and renovate too.
Yeah.
We did so many things at once. But there was white primer all over there, and then it wasn't.
It was not white.
So
yeah.
and we had those situations going on, and then learning each other. So like that tension, and then the relationship tension, and so it was rough. And then raising kids, having 3 boys.
All potty training at the time too.
What should have scared us about this 6 months in?
Everything. I mean, honestly, everything.
It's not normal.
So I think I had a lot more security in it though, because I had family nearby.
So if you dipped out.
No.
I'm just kidding.
But if it didn't work out, you know, if things kind of went south, that I would be okay. And you would be okay because, you know, you had your job and you had the military and stability, and I had family nearby still. So that was a little bit more secure. But I think I would have went with you if you would have went somewhere else. I mean, I would have gone with you.
What scared me is if we didn't work and then I just moved to Florida, you took on the role of mom very quickly, and so if you would have left, then I was like having to figure out what do I do with my 2 kids, get them in daycare, figure all that out. If our daughter came to us today and said she just met a guy, they've been together for 4, 5, 6 months, and said they were going to go buy a house together, what do you think we would say?
No.
I'd be like,
Absolutely not.
what's wrong with you?
Are you crazy?
You need to think this through.
Yeah. I can't imagine what my dad was thinking at the time.
He was always really nice to me, though. At this point, we thought we had survived the hard part.
Then Florida happened.
Then the AC died.
Then the second hurricane.
Then my grandpa moved in.
And then we had to decide what we were going to do because we were pregnant.
And that's another episode. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Oh, this is not the peace we planned. It's beautiful and bonkers with tiny tyrants in command who shout their little yonkers. We pray for grace and patience and a minute's sweet release. This crazy, blessed, wonderful, chaotic masterpiece.